Alright, hello everybody and good morning from hope you can see it, the Great Dunes National Park here in Colorado. So this place was not on my list for this trip. It's not on the way to anywhere else either, but given the success, I believe the success that I had at the White Sands National Monument back in New Mexico, I wanted more. I wanted more dunes, and this was a national park that it was close enough. It's 3 hours away from New Mexico, from Santa Fe, where we are still staying. So it's been a long day because it's only 9 in the morning, but I already drove more than 3 hours to get here from New Mexico. I still have to drive 3 hours back this evening. It's gonna be a very long day, but hopefully I get a few hours here at this place to make some good images. The weather, as you can see, is pretty sunny, bright. Luckily it's not too hot, and it's very harsh. It's a very harsh light, but I don't care anymore, because the other day at White Sands I thought that the light was very harsh too, and it was that light that let me create some of the best images that day. So I'm just not expecting anything. I'm just gonna go there and try to create images with what we got here. And yeah, it should be a fun day. By the way, before getting started, I've already made a few images on the way here. I don't know if they're gonna be any good, but I like to do that. I like to shoot a lot on the way to locations and to places, because you never know, and sometimes I find beautiful spots on the way to somewhere else. Spots that I wasn't expecting to find, and I think that sometimes the best images come from those moments. So I would recommend you to not pass on those opportunities and stop if you can, and just take a couple shots that might turn out to be great images. Okay, so this is the first shot right there. I'm trying to take a long exposure here. I'm trying to do something that I had never really done before. I used to use two ND filters. I've never done this neither with digital nor film. So I'm using the 15 and the 6 stop ND filter to get an effective 21 stops. It's very necessary here. It's very bright and sunny, and I want to get an 8-minute long exposure to really blur out all those clouds that are there. So yeah, it's been 3 minutes, 5 more. You might have noticed that I'm using f4, and you might be wondering if that is gonna get everything in focus from the foreground to the background. I'm not too worried about that. First of all, because this is a wide angle lens, so everything farther than 1.5 to 2 meters should be in focus anyway. And the other reason is because I don't mind if the very foreground is blurry or out of focus. I've said this many times. It's something that I actually like and enjoy, because for me it's like a way for the viewer to actually enter the image. I know this is just my opinion, but when you have a leading line like this, I actually like to have it a little bit out of focus at the very beginning of that leading line, because I think it's easier to the eye. It's something that I do a lot with the Bronica. It's a medium format camera after all, and the depth of field can get really shallow even when you are using smaller apertures compared to an APS-C camera like this one. So yeah, I like to do that. Probably not the right thing, technically speaking, but I like the way it looks. Let me know if you like it more, if you don't like it, if you just don't care, whatever. Okay, so while I was waiting for that long exposure to finish, a cloud just showed up from nowhere, and now it's creating all these shadows and dark areas in the dunes along with the bright ones. And I'm trying to take advantage of this moment, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Since that camera is busy with the long exposure, I have to use this one, but that's fine because I wanted to use the telephoto lens anyway. I think I got a couple of them that are pretty good, but I'm gonna keep looking for more because the shadows are moving really quick with the cloud, of course. So be right back. It might not look as much, but I believe these dunes are 500 to 700 foot high, and it's sand, so it makes it a little bit harder, but shouldn't be too hard, and yeah, should be worth it. The sand is beautifully smooth here. That has problems though. The first one is that you don't realize how steep it is. I almost fell in there. And the second problem is that it's really hard to focus because the camera can't find anything where to focus, you know? It's all just tons of brown sand color. But I think it could make, well, I know they make for great abstracts. That's what I'm trying to look for here, even though there are no shadows. And that could actually make the images better because they are gonna be very subtle. And I'm looking for lines like this one here of this dune. So hopefully it works, but as I said, it's beautiful here. That was not a good idea. Oh, so steep. But I kind of made it here. I know where to go now. I know I want to get a view of the mountains, but that's probably not easy that way. I'm gonna go the other way. just wanted to say that this place is insane, and I'm so glad that I came here. Even if the photos are not good, they should be, by the way, but even if they are not, look at this. This is so beautiful. Okay. No. Tonight I'm gonna have to clean all my camera gear slowly and carefully, because I'm sure all my camera's gear, the bag, everything, my pockets, I mean everything, is gonna be full of sand. I've been thinking about staying until later today, until sunset, until the sun gets lower in the sky, so it starts creating those shadows, you know, on the dunes that are pretty fun to play with. But I don't think I'm gonna do it for many reasons. One of them is because it's partly cloudy, and behind me there on the west it's even cloudier, so I don't know if there is gonna be any shadows tonight when the sun does get low. The second of all is because I still have 3 hours to drive back to the Airbnb, and it's pretty much the whole time through forests, and there are deer and elk that come out at sunset, and I don't really want to drive in the dark on that road. But the main reason is because I already got to play with shadows, with the light and the shadows here in these dunes, because this same weather that will probably not allow for a lot of photography tonight, well, gave me a lot of opportunities for abstracts and stuff like that, because every once in a while, well, we got a cloud, and the shadows move and create different patterns and stuff like that. So in a sense it's even better than sunset, because at sunset you only have shadows on one side of the dunes. So just behind me you can see there, that's Star Dune. That's the tallest dune in North America. It could be interesting to go there just for the sake of doing it, but I don't think that's gonna help my photography today at all. It's gonna just make me more tired, and I'm gonna tell everyone, friends and family, and whoever asks, that I actually went there. So don't tell anyone. I didn't really, but let's say that I did. Alright, so I just made it back to the car. Leaving the dunes was actually the right decision, because it got very cloudy, so there's not going to be any sunset. And by that I mean there are not going to be any shadows to play with later. Not only that, but I got a notification a while ago. There were a couple lightning strikes at the other side of the mountains, so I don't know if that storm is coming or not, but it's not something I really want to find out. On the dunes, I had a great time here. I think it was completely worth it, the 3-hour drive. Now we will see, because I need to drive another 3 back home. So yeah, but I think this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching again, and see you in the next one.